Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. In this episode, we are going to take a look at each of the personal months for February 2023. And we're going to take a look at how to best work with that energy with the universal month, as well as the full and the new moons that we have coming up in February. Now, I do want to mention these are different from the life path energies. So the calculations are also very different. So please be sure to check the description box below for the calculation. Do your calculation before listening to your personal month, right? Just to make sure, of course, that you're listening to the right one. If you don't want to wait to see what the next 12 months could have in store for you energetically, book your personal year ahead forecast now and take a deep dive into your own personal year ahead. You can book some time with me for that in the description box below. As always, this is a general reading. If you would like a personalized reading or a coaching session with numerology, please, again, book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. You can book some time with me through my website. All right, let's go ahead and get started. And of course, personal month 5, if you are currently in February, a personal month of 5, this can be a cycle that brings about a lot of change, a lot of shifts, unexpected and expected. Anytime we have a 5 cycle, there's usually, even if it's a shorter cycle, there's usually some kind of lightning bolt, like aha moment or shift in perspective or shift in an experience that can come in, and it can come in really abruptly and unexpectedly. And so we are really just meant when we're in a 5 cycle to go with the flow, to be as adaptable as possible. And so I would say definitely whatever February sort of serves up, just it's up to you to figure out how to work with that, how to become adaptable, how to, again, like move through that energy in a way that's beneficial. Because anytime we're in a 5 cycle, it's always shifting us in a way that is most, into a direction that is most aligned with our higher self and like the direction our soul wants to be moving into. So it's never working against us. It's always working for us, even though it can be very uncomfortable. And because we're also in a 9 universal cycle, for February, again, this could bring some completion. This could bring some things to closure and quite abruptly. But anything that comes to closure, anything that falls away, and as cliche as it sounds, but needs to fall away, right? And whether we just didn't have the sort of I don't want to say control, like we didn't have the will or whatever or the intention to release whatever that is. Sometimes that lightning bolt sort of divine intervention has to come in to release it for us. And so anytime we're in a 5 cycle, we can sort of expect the unexpected. Not always, but often. And it doesn't have to be a bad thing or something to fear, right? It can be, you get an opportunity to travel and you go and you travel and your perspective shifts and your mind is opened wide to a new culture, new belief systems, new ideologies, whatever works for you. That's incredibly possible, where you could get an opportunity to go travel and you meet the love of your life. There's like all these very possible unexpected sort of synchronicities and coincidences and changes that can just crop up out of the blue with 5 energy. So be prepared for the unexpected as much as you can be, right? And what I mean by that is usually we can't prepare for it. It's kind of like with 5 energy, we have to release control and just see what shows up and work with it to the best of our ability and learn through that process. Again, you could also see travel come up. You could also see this as an opportunity to express yourself in a much more freeing way. You might have the desire to break free from things that have started to feel more mundane or stagnant. That's very possible. So I would definitely say when it comes to 5 cycles, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Take your time if you can, and before you make sort of like drastic rash decisions, because 5 energy can bring impulsivity as well. So just be really mindful of like what you're saying yes to, what you're saying no to, because it may feel really good in the moment, but then down the road it might not feel so good. So again, just be really mindful of, again, like the decisions that you're making, what you're releasing, what you're bringing in. Just make sure it feels right. Just make sure it feels aligned for you, right? Now, again, we are in that 9 energies universally, so there could be something that falls away for you now, or again, comes to completion, that sort of thing. But again, just remember, if it does, it's because it's meant to at this time, that its contract is over with you. Its experience is over with you at this time. And that just means something new is coming in. There's a new adventure becoming. And if there's anything that 5 energy loves, it's an adventure. So be prepared for that. Okay, so we have a full moon that's occurring on February 5th or 6th, depending on where you live within the world. For you all, it's bringing in the energy of the 10-1 and the 11-2. And this is so beautiful, especially when you're in a 5 universal cycle. I'm sorry, a 5 personal cycle. So 10-1 energy, this is like clean slate. This is like you've got this white canvas or this clear canvas, and you have all the colors in the world that you want to play with. And this is giving you free, the green light to play with it, to explore, to let your inner child run free, and to take direction from your inner child as opposed to the all serious adult, right? And so this 10-1 around this full moon, again, is like saying, okay, the world is your oyster. What do you want to do? What do you want to create? So this is very inspiring energy, because you also have the energy of the 11-2, which is inspiration, right? The inspirational leader. So you are absolutely, with this 5 energy, this 10-1, and this 11-2 energy, around this full moon, you are absolutely just given free rein to create what you want to create, to explore, to go on a new adventure and find your joy and your bliss and sink into that. Put your teeth right into it, right? Just enjoy it. Which is sometimes easier said than done when it's 5 energy, because usually that comes with some change, right? And humans struggle with change a lot of times. So it's finding the comfortableness within the uncomfortableness and finding your joy through that process as well. But this 10-1 and this 11-2 energy is allowing you to, again, like free rein to just explore, to have fun with it and see what you can create, see what you're capable of. This is beautiful, beautiful energy. So take advantage of it. Now, you might even find around this full moon things that you're passionate about that you didn't know you were passionate about, right? And so has the potential to open a lot of doors. Okay, and then around February 20th, we have a new moon. For you all, this new moon energy is bringing in the energy of the 7. And so this could be, around this new moon, a very spiritual time for you, a very like connected time. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be, spiritual, so to speak, but it's like this opportunity to connect to your higher self, your higher consciousness, your big ideas, your inspirations, the unseen, right? Like trusting yourself, trusting the universe type of energy around this new moon. There is definitely something here about expressing yourself creatively in a way that feels like you're taking your big ideas serious and you're turning them into something very tangible. And this is the initiation for that. This is planting the seeds. So set your intentions, call in the people that you need to call in to do this work, whatever this work may be. This can also be about very much like, again, expressing yourself in a way that feels very authentic and in a way that's allowing you to share those ideas, those more like mystical sort of unseen ideas, and turning them into something very practical. So this is also a 7 universal year. So again, you may feel this new moon very potently because, again, it's the energy that you're working with this month for February. But it's definitely asking you to get to the truth of something, whether that's your own personal truth or the truth about, a situation or whatever the case may be, but also honoring and trusting those big ideas and inspirations and intuitive hits that are coming in for you around this time, whether it's through your dreams or through something someone says or just an experience that you have. Definitely pay attention to that and dig deeper. This is also a great time around this new moon to start a new course of study, to join a workshop, anything that's going to, like, again, sort of expand your mind, allow you to sort of dance within your own independence and explore more deeply into the more sort of universal things, right? So exploring deeper into the unseen or the more taboo things, whatever the case may be. You may also find around this new moon that you feel called to sort of sink into your own solitude a little bit more and embrace your own company type thing. This can be a time when you can gain access to the big answers to the big questions, right? So, but it's going to take you sort of being open to it and exploring it. So beautiful energy for you all if you are in a personal month of 5 in February. Take care, everyone.